Hey guys, it's Carter. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a great and amazing day today. Now in today's video, we are going to be talking about how to make $100 per day from swing trading stocks. So I hope you guys all enjoy it. We're going to be talking about how I find stocks, my strategy, some live examples for you guys. So I hope you guys all enjoy it. If you guys get anything in value, hit that like button, subscribe. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe and join the team. We talk about everything money, and we just released awesome I Love Stock merch. So make sure you guys check that out. It's super exciting. It's awesome. We're gonna be doing a giveaway for that, so I hope you guys all enjoy it. Let's jump into the video. Let's go. All right, so for those of you that don't know what swing trading is, well, swing trading in simple terms is when you buy a stock, you hold it for more than a day but less than a year. On average, I hold my swing trades for about 2 weeks. Now when you buy a stock and you sell a stock during the same trading day, that's considered a day trade. It's a different strategy, mindset. When you buy a stock and you hold it for more than a year, that's a long-term investment. It's a different tax bracket, strategy, mindset as well. Now, one of the main reasons why I love swing trading is because you can do it with a full-time job or a part-time job. It doesn't require as much work as day trading. Where day trading, you have to be actively watching the market using stock scanners. With swing trading, you guys can find stocks, on the weekends, after hours, and you guys can practice your trades. You can place trades while you're at work. There's a little more flexibility compared to day trading. Now, I've been swing trading full time for about 4.5 years, and here's the most important lessons that I've learned. So starting off with number one is paper trade, paper trade, paper trade. This is by far one of the most important lessons that I can highly recommend for you guys, because if you guys can't make money in a paper trading account, you obviously can't make money with a real account. Now, paper trading is using simulated money to buy and sell stocks and work on your strategy. That's the biggest recommendation I can do, is paper trade for as long as possible. My recommendation would be a minimum of 1 year. And I know you're saying right now, Carter, that's way too long. Hey, if you guys want this to be a career, you have to treat it like one. How long does it take a doctor to become a doctor or an engineer to become an engineer? It takes a while. So don't take any shortcuts. Sit back, relax, and just soak in education, watch courses, watch videos, and honestly just practice. Practice for as long as you can, understand all the market conditions, understand how to find stock, and you'll be way better off in the long run. All right, the second thing that I would highly recommend doing is understanding something that I made up. It's called the $100 rule. Now, what this is if you can't make money with $100, you can't make money with $1,000. If you can't make money with $1,000, you can't make money with $10,000, $20,000, $100,000. Now, the only thing that's separating you with $100 from making $100 a day is going to be share size. Because if you have $10,000 or $20,000 in your account, you can capitalize on share size and obviously make a lot more money. But with $100, if you can't make money with $100, whether it's $1 or $2 a week, you're not going to be profitable with a real account. Starting out, I felt like I needed to fund my account in order to make money, so I put in about $900 and I lost it right away. I soon realized that, one, I need a paper trade. Number two, it's not about the account size that I have, because if I'm not profitable with $100 or $200, I'm obviously not going to be profitable with $1,000. All right, so now for the last lesson before we talk about my strategy is you don't have to trade. It's always better to sit on the sidelines and look for opportunity, or just see what happens for a stock. Watch it play out, see what happens and learn, rather than take a trade on a company that you don't know what's going on, you don't know the pattern, you don't even know why you're buying it. Maybe your friend told you to buy it or something along those lines. But it's always better to just sit back on the sidelines with something you're unfamiliar with than hop in. Starting out, this was one of the most important lessons that I learned, because I felt like I had to trade every single day in order to become profitable, but it's always better to have quality over quantity with swing trading. All right, now that we understand some tips and tricks, now let's talk about how I find stocks with a stock scanner. So let's turn to the computer. I hope you guys enjoy it. Now let's talk about how I find stocks. Now, you guys could have the best strategy that's ever been created for swing trading, but if you're not buying the right stocks, you're gonna lose money. So we're up and loaded here on finvest.com. I do not pay for the premium version, so there is gonna be ads, and I do apologize for that, but I wanna show you guys that you don't need to spend money to find opportunities in the market. Obviously, you guys can pay for scanners like Trade Ideas, but it's gonna be expensive. expensive, about $120 a month, compared to Finvest, which does a fantastic job. And maybe down the road, you guys can get, trade ideas as you start making more money. But for me, this is what works well and how I make $100 a day. So what I do is I look at what's going on in the market. The first thing I do, okay, so we look at the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, S&P 500, the Russell 2000, and we understand that we had a relatively green day. The next thing I do is I look down in here. We see the top gainers, top losers, all that stuff. As we scroll down here, we'll have the S&P 500 map, which is just the S&P 500 broken down into pretty much the sector. So you guys can see like tech, financial, customer, all these other ones, healthcare. So you'll notice actually energy and financial had a fantastic day today. So maybe there could be some opportunity there. All right, so let's go back to the home tab here. As we scroll down here, this is going to be like different trends. We'll look at this later and we'll talk about how to integrate some of these little patterns into the scanner here. On the right, very similar situation. Off on the right-hand side, we have major news. So obviously we have companies like AMC today squeezing up 32%. We have other companies that have released some news as well. So it's always good to kind of see what's going on in the marketplace and maybe look for opportunities that way. Very similar situations down in here. We'll have headlines as we continue to scroll. We got like insider buying, selling, earnings. We got Forex, futures, all that stuff. But the most important tab here that I found is going to be the screener tab. This screener is going to be your bread and butter. This is going to be how you find plays, and you don't have to actively click between all those menu tabs. But what I do is I click this all tab. So I put the descriptive, fundamental, and technical all in one spot, so I don't have to click between those as well. Now, the first thing that I do when looking for opportunities here is I go to price. I want to go underneath anywhere from $20 to $30. Now, you guys will notice I still have about over 5,000 stock still left. So we still got a long ways to go for building the scanner up. Now, the next thing I do is I go to average volume, and we want to go over 500 or over 750,000. We'll go over 500. We always can change it later if there's not enough, stocks. But the reason why is you want people buying, you want people selling the stock. You don't want to trade or try to trade a company that's not getting any action. You want action. Volatility is key with trading. You want to see swings. You want to see, patterns and stuff like that. And having volume is going to be how you guys do that. The next thing here is we go to pattern. So this is kind of like how I mentioned all that trend line stuff. This is going to be how you kind of integrate that. So what I do is go to channel up strong or channel up. We'll go channel up, and we always can adjust it later. So you guys will notice we had over 5,000 stocks at one point. Now we have 11. The next thing I want to do is go to relative volume. Relative volume is going to be pretty much the overall demand for the stock. The higher up you go, so like over a 10, is going to be very, very volatile. So these are going to be companies that are swinging like crazy where you can make a ton of money or you guys could lose your t-shirt off it. But we'll go over 1 or even over 0.5. Honestly, we'll go over 0.5. Nothing changed. We still got 11 stocks. So the next thing I do is I want to look at these charts. So I click charts, and then I look for opportunities. So what I like to look for is something that is getting, buying pressure. So we have something like this where we have a beautiful upward trend, and it sold off down to a trend line. So actually, BOTZ, it looks really interesting. It's a robotics and artificial intelligence ETF, which has been one of the top sectors as well. And AI on top of that is ready to grow at 37% per year. So something like this, we know there's a lot of buying pressure behind it. So what I do next is I pull up my broker here. So I use MooMoo. MooMoo's awesome. It's completely free. I'll put it down below. It's the broker I use for all my swing trades and even day trades. But what I do is I just type it in. So we got BOTZ. I've looked up this one in the past, so I'm sure there's going to be some trend lines on it. But there we go. Look at this. So what we see here is something really, really nice. So we got this trend line. Okay. Boom. So one thing we notice is every time it hits this trend line, we get natural buying pressure, right? So it hit it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So we understand that this trend line represents a relatively strong support for this ETF. On top of that, it does have some resistance up here. boom, at about $30. We'll classify this at 30, even though it's probably like 29.9, but we'll classify that 30. So there could be a play from $28 to $30. So you could risk about 50 cents. So if you set your stop loss that just say at $28.20, you could hop in, set your stop loss down in here. If this thing tanks down, we understand it's a trend line break. But if this thing gets buying pressure, what it's done in the past, boom, 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 then we understand that there could be a move from $28 to $30, cashing out at 30 with your first profit. This is going to be how you actively look for stocks, is just by going in, finding these opportunities, and just practicing, right? Looking for something like this. We have that beautiful upward trend. So CXM, somewhat of a trend line. We'll go ahead, let's pull this one up here as well. So something like this, we understand, okay, something like this, we got actually some pretty strong support right here at 13. We got some resistance up here, right here at about 15. So hopping in, setting your stop loss most likely below this deep candlestick down in here, because this is where we've seen buying pressure most recently. So risking about, we can classify that as $1. So you're risking $1 to possibly make about $2, which is, you know, a 2-to-1 risk and reward. So this is a relatively decent one. We like to go 3 and above, but this still could be a fantastic play for practicing your swing trade. Something like this, you know, I would not go heavy into, but I would feel confident taking a small position in something like this and seeing what happens with it. But honestly, this is how you find stock. A lot of people love to overcomplicate it, but what are those things you're looking for? Appreciation. So let's go ahead and go back out. We're looking for stocks that have gotten buying pressure and that have sold off. So something like this, boom. But if this thing tanked and was down in here, then we'd be more interested. The issue is when stuff is up near resistance. Yes, we could get that resistant breakout, which does have a great return on your money, but it is also resistance, and we do see tendencies to get sell-off near those. So for me, for my strategy, I like to hold off on those types of positions and look for opportunities, you know, like the ones we mentioned, you know, and looking at something like RELY here. Once it loads up, you guys will see that there has been tendencies to get a lot of buying pressure near and around trend lines. So something like this, you'll notice buying pressure, squeezes up. It's going to hit that resistance, probably start tampering off. This is going to be how you find those opportunities, guys. All right, so now that we understand how to find stock, now let's talk about my most recent swing trade. So I have Google up and loaded here, and you guys will notice basic support, basic resistance. This is how you can find opportunities, right? You'll notice we've gotten buying pressure near and around $86. Boom, hit it once, hit it twice, even 3 times. All I did was take a small position down in here, boom, buy down here, sell at the resistance. It's that easy. On top of that, Google did present a bunch of opportunities like that resistant breakout that I just talked about, where it hits that resistance, tampers off a little bit, and then we do get buying pressure coming up. Now, for me, looking at Google as of right now, yes, it's 121. For me to look at this as a possible swing trade, I would need to get it near and around 115 to hop in and try to sell it near 150, getting that great ROI on top of that great risk and reward ratio. Something like that would be very, very interesting. But this is a prime example of how you guys could integrate, you know, Finvest and MooMoo and find these opportunities to make that money, guys. All right, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you guys did, hit that like button, subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, stay positive, and stay safe out there. Take care, everyone.